everybody. Ren here, and you are tuned in once again for Radioactive. So, as you know, this pandemic actually continues to impact our lives, and we've all responded differently, diba? But today, we actually have an inspiring young woman. She's no stranger to the Save Ministries family. You might actually think she looks familiar, but you'll get to know more about her today. Kasi she recently started a brand new business even through this season. So just a bit of a background, she's a certified professional and bridal makeup artist. She's a dancer in her local church's dance ministry. She's a sophomore in Ateneo de Manila University. And she is the founder of Hypergleam Cosmetics. So let us welcome today's guest, Miki Liuson. Hey, Miki!
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me today.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, really well.
That's great. Sige, before we start, talking about the business, before anything else, can you share with us first a brief background of how you came to know the Lord Jesus?
Okay, so I came to know Jesus when back in kids' church, when I would attend every week because my parents would bring us to church. And I really truly understood the gospel when I was around third grade, and it was through the large group discussion of the kids' church with the Sunday school teachers, and that's when I accepted Jesus into my heart. And then I took the Lord seriously in around 8th grade or 9th grade, and ever since then, I can praise God that my walk has been steady naman.
Thanks, Mick. So I actually know you from dance ministry, but you're multi-talented. And right now, we're going to be talking about this business that you've started. Speaking of, kasi it's a beauty business, diba? But there's sometimes a notion for us Christians na we shouldn't care much about how we look because we're not of this world. And this is something na some people believe. Given this, how do you think we should be viewing beauty and appearance?
I think that although it's not something that we should care too much about, it's also something that can help us become more attractive to those we want to minister to. And it's just something that you need to pay attention to, especially if you want to look presentable or if you want to get a point across. It's really important that you're supposed to look presentable to those listening to you. And I think that makeup is more of a tool to really like bring out the natural beauty of a person and their features instead of like concealing it or trying to make a disguise. And overall, we should just look at it as something that helps us be more presentable as people and not really as something to change our appearance.
Yeah, that's a really great insight to enhance our features. So, when you created this cosmetics business, you're still in college while doing it. So right now you're studying and you're doing the business. What prompted you to develop yung cosmetics, yung Hypergleam Cosmetics, and make a business even while you're studying?
Okay, so actually I haven't been studying yet because ever since school was cut off in March, they declared all of us passing grade. So I didn't also have any classes during the summer. So right now I'm just waiting for school to start again in September. So actually, ever since getting certified last July last year, I really was able to practice more makeup on other people and on myself. And I think my passion really grew because I knew more about it. And I think that making like actual cosmetics, it became an interest to me when I'd see videos online. And originally, I wasn't really planning to do a business. I just wanted to make things and I had time. So I was like, okay, I was interested to do research also. And I actually spent a lot of time researching, but then it just came naturally because I just wanted to know more about it. And then when I started actually making lip gloss, I realized that the batch, it was making so much. So I was like, what am I gonna do with all of this lip gloss? And then I was like, okay, maybe I should try branding this because at that time there was not much lip gloss in the market yet. But then that was around February. But then through the months, like before launching even, like a lot of brands started to emerge also. So I kind of can't really say that it was because there was not enough lip gloss because now there's like so much of it already. But then that was one of the things that inspired me. And so I was praying to God, like, if this is really your will for me to make a business, that everything goes smoothly na lang. And then since then, like all of the help that I needed was just coming left and right, like me not even asking for it. And it's like people knew what I was lacking. And that's how everything just came together. And I praise God because it was really easy for in my end. Yeah.
That's great. And even you how it started as a passion. So everything came naturally, like the research involved and all of that. So you actually mentioned a bit kanina na you were needing people, you were needing all sorts of resources. What were some challenges that you encountered when you first started developing the lip gloss?
Okay, well, when I first got the idea, we still had no idea about COVID, like that it was going to happen, because that was around February to like the beginning of March. And then, right when I was about to start making lip gloss, that's when the lockdown was announced. So all of us were not sure yet whether how long it would take. Like we thought the it would be like 2 weeks long, but then actually like it ended up extending for so long. And so I used that time without school na to formulate more about how to like make it into a better business, like with the branding. Because that's also one of my interests actually, like my course in college kasi is information design. So that's like in the advertising field. And I'm also part of like a marketing org. So like everything was really just knit together. And
Yeah.
so some challenges I guess was really the related to the pandemic. So that was like getting the supplies that I needed because the shipments were taking really long. Like I wasn't even sure how I was going to receive them, and then I was waiting for so long, and I felt like parang the other brands were catching up na, parang they were launching before me, and I was like, oh no, is this still gonna work out? And then eventually naman, I think that the waiting paid off kasi I was able to get like the good quality supplies. And I think that I really didn't have to rush because I felt like for some reason that I had to make it launch faster. But then I realized also like why am I making it launch faster? So I really focused on like the preparations talaga. And so since I gave myself time, then I saw that even though I was like having a hard time waiting and like getting the supplies, at the end it worked out really well.
That's great. And God has perfect timing, no? He
Yeah,
really showed that
yeah.
through that whole process. Thanks for sharing that, Nikki. Siguro, any negative feedback naman? Or did you have moments of discouragement when you were starting the business? And also, how did the Lord show himself faithful naman in that area?
Well, at first, like I was like, okay, so if I'm really gonna make this a business, maybe it will be long term na because I was kind of interested in starting a business also, but then I didn't think that it would come this soon. So I think I didn't really feel capable or like that I knew anything, and I really like I didn't know what I was doing honestly, and it was really God's guidance that would help me make decisions, and as well as the people that God sent to help me. Like for the photography, it was free. Like my friend offered to help me, and then for the design too, and also like the shipping process, I had help learning that. Yeah, so I think that it's really by God's grace na even though I felt inadequate or incapable of doing those things. God sent me people to help and also like wisdom to make decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great story on dependence on God. So praise God nga. Ang galing. Sige, so for those naman who are hearing this and are probably, wondering how do they start or are feeling overwhelmed siguro but are aspiring to do it, what steps muna did you take to establish the business that you think might be helpful for others to know?
I think that research is really important. Like that's what I spent a lot of time on. Like I didn't realize that I was staying up late for like so many nights, weeks pa nga, and just really finding the best alternatives for the products and the supplies. And I think that that's something that won't come easy, especially in the business area, because people, of course, they have to keep their suppliers confidential because business. And I think that it's really possible to do research. It's not that hard, but then it takes time to like find the best deals and things like that. So yeah.
Thanks, Mickey. Sige, you mentioned also na may marami lang iba ng mga glosses. So let's talk a little bit about Hypergleam. First of all, like what sets it apart? And what's the story behind calling it Hypergleam Cosmetics?
Okay, so at first, I was really like focused on the quality of the gloss because I wasn't really planning on selling it. So like I had nothing in mind about the cost it would take to make the gloss, or like how much supplies I needed. So I really focused on like researching on the health benefits for the lips. So lip gloss kasi it's like oil based. So I was searching for different kinds of oils, and I ended up choosing three. So that's sweet almond oil, sunflower oil, and avocado oil. And three of those oils, they each have different health benefits for the lips. And when you combine all of them together, it's like an all around like moisturizer, healer, and as well as a gloss that makes your lips shiny. So I think that's what sets it apart from other glosses, because I really paid attention to what I was putting in it, and that I made sure that it was effective. And actually at first I wasn't really sure until people started buying from me and giving me their testimonies about using it, that it was really effective. And so I was like, okay, my research really paid off. And so the name, it came by me actually thinking of like different puns with synonyms to glossy or like shiny, and I was just making a list of like different words that would sound good together or like sound catchy to the ears. And so I was asking for help from friends also, and they were just giving me like different terms, and I think that I just chose that one because it kind of fits into the Gen Z
Yeah.
feel. Yeah, and even the font that I chose. And Hypergleam actually is like it came from the word hyper beam, which is like a video game move. And so I think it was really like fun and unique as well. So that's why I chose that term. Yeah.
Galing. Thanks, Mickey. And ano talaga, no, it all boils down to really researching, like when you mentioned about the ingredients and even ideas for the name. So it really takes time to research. So that's a good example of perseverance as well. Sige, what are you most grateful naman now that Hypergleam Cosmetics is up and running? And people are loving it. You're getting quite some feedback. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm most grateful for the sales, because I really didn't expect a lot of people to buy, especially because everyone's wearing a mask. Like, who will see your lip gloss? Because you're just gonna cover it anyway, and it's gonna stick pa. And I think that most of the people buying are those who don't really need to go out of the house a lot, but then they really like to like doll themselves up. And also for, of course, the health of the lips, they really pay attention to that, and they consider it for buying the product. And I'm just really thankful na it's reaching a lot of people. And the reason actually why I was able to get followers fast was because one of the photography video, because I documented the product shoot, it went viral because I was showing like kind of like a short vlog of it, and then the results after in that video, and it got like 120,000 views. And because of that, like I got a lot of more followers on Instagram. And I'm just thankful for that because I really have no control over the algorithm of TikTok. Like I have no idea how to make something go viral. And the other videos I had, they had like 20 views lang, 10 even. And so it was really a shock for me. And I wasn't expecting it. So that's what I'm really grateful for talaga. Yeah.
Mickey. It's been quite the journey, no? And start pa lang. So it's really exciting what the Lord has in store for you. Sige, let's help naman other people who would need encouragement naman through this time. So you launched Hypergleam during the pandemic. We're currently in a season where a lot of us are stuck at home. What would you encourage naman our viewers and listeners, especially those your age, on how to maximize time?
Well, yeah, I think that the pandemic has made a lot of people start businesses. Like, there's already an online store for almost everything, and literally, like, it's even a wider selection than you can find in the mall. Like, you can easily search it on like Facebook, Instagram, Shopee, and you'll find those things for sale. And I don't think I could encourage everyone to start a business. But then in terms of productivity, I just encourage you to siguro keep your not only your body healthy but also your mind. So not only paying attention to your diet, like not taking in too much food and just like making it balanced and trying to exercise. I think that nurturing your mind is really important, especially from all of the information that we're getting online about our country and like the news around the world. I think that it's important to really aside from know your stand, be aligned to what God, who God is, and really trust that He's sovereign and always remember that. So I think other ways to really nurture your mind is to, of course, read His Word, pray, talk about it with your friends and family, and just really make sure that you're not alone in the things that you're thinking about. And make sure also that you are just trusting God in everything that's happening.
That's great. Those are really great insights, Nick. Thank you for sharing that. So you already shared a lot of tips, but before we end, would you have any other that you want to share, probably to those who might be overwhelmed but are thinking about the business or anything of that sort? Go ahead.
Okay, so if since this is about business, if you're interested in starting one, I think that something you need to really pay attention to is how unique your brand is and your product is, because there's already so much and it's hard to stand out. So I think you should really put time in researching about the quality of your products and really giving it a branding that will stand out to the market. So you have to know also who you want to sell to and look for platforms that will make it convenient for them. And that's really what I try to keep in mind all the time is to how can I be unique or how can I stand out from the other brands. Yeah.
Those are all really helpful tips, Mickey. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you also for inspiring us to persevere and to also want to present ourselves well as we minister to others. So I'm sure a lot of our viewers and listeners have gotten insights. But right now, it's time for fast talk naman. So these are just light questions that you can answer under 5 seconds. So just the first thing that pops in your mind. Okay? Ready?
Yes.
All right. If you weren't doing your current role right now, which I guess would be college and the business, what would you be?
I would be cooking and baking.
That sounds nice too. Okay, what's your top na favorite pa? Christian song.
That's hard. There's so many, but I would say Elohim right now. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Top three things you always bring with you.
Lip gloss, phone, and a snack.
Nice. What is your greatest fear?
Greatest fear? Rejection.
What is your greatest dream?
Mm, to be used by God.
That's a really great answer, Mick. What is, and this is the last one, what is one thing you'll do after this interview?
Eat merienda.
All right. And I won't keep you from that, Mirianda. So thank you so much, Mickey. And to all who have listened and who have watched, make sure as well that you have downloaded the Save Radio app free on Google Play and Apple app for more inspiring messages and the best in Christian music. Once again, that was Miki Liuson inspiring us with her own story. And that is it for today's Radioactive interview right here on Saved Radio.
Taking back the airwaves for Jesus.